In this video, we'll go through an introduction of Sage Accounts Production to help you prepare and generate year-end statutory accounts. Sage Accounts Production comes with 3 master templates to help you prepare accounts for sole traders, limited companies, and partnerships. For limited companies, it allows you to generate accounts for micro-entities under FRS 105, for small limited companies under FRS 102 Section 1A, along with the full FRS 102 requirements. It helps you produce full members accounts, abridged accounts, filleted accounts, along with the IXBRL accounts, which will be required when you complete your corporation tax computation and return and submit that over to HMRC. It also has an error checker, so the software will check for any data which may be missing. If any of the figures doesn't look right, it will produce a report for you at the start of the accounts. It also has a format editor, allowing you to make changes to the look and feel, to the style of the accounts. It also has the e-filing module built in, allowing you to generate and submit the accounts directly over to Companies House, along with the IXBRL tagging tool. And the tagging tool will automatically tag the majority of the tags for you, but also gives you the flexibility to edit or amend some of the tags that may be required. So let's now dive into the software and have a look around. So when you first open up Sage Accounts Production, it will open up the client list. Now, on my example, I've already got some clients listed on there, but by default, Sage will provide you with 3 master templates listed as clients. So those master templates will be for a sole trader, a partnership, and for a limited company under FRS Limited. So those are the 3 templates that Sage will provide over for you. To create a new client, click on the Add option at the bottom, and that will open up the Add Dataset option. Fill in the details about the client, such as the client name, the client code, the year-end date in the top half. In the second half, you will then choose the template that you want to base on this client. So if you click on the 3 dots, that will then open up the templates, the master templates which are available, and you will then pick the relevant template for that client. Once you've entered all the details and clicked on OK, that will then create the client and it will launch into that client dataset for you. To navigate your way through the software, use the icons available which are at the top, or the menu options in the task menu down the left-hand side. To start, you'll be required to enter your trial balance, and there are multiple ways of getting the trial balance in there. The first option is via the journals, where you can enter the trial balance in manually. On this example, I've already got a trial balance already created, but to enter a trial balance in, use the multiple option at the bottom left, which will open up a blank page, allowing you to go through and enter the nominal ledger code along with the amounts. So you'll be building up the trial balance through this option. Sage Accounts Production will already provide you with a list of default nominal ledger accounts on there. If you know what the numbers are, you can enter them in directly in here, or you can search using the button with the 3 dots, which will give you a list of all the nominal ledgers, and again, using the search options, you can search for descriptions or the code. Once you've entered the trial balance in, make sure that the unallocated balance is 0, so both the debits and the credits agree, before saving that. The other way of getting the trial balance in is via Excel, and that can be done through the tools option at the top here, going into import, and then you have the import nominals from CSV file. If you are using Sage 50 accounts, however, you are able to import data in directly from Sage 50 Cloud accounts. Again, go into Tools at the top, go into Product Links, and into the Sage 50 option. In there you will find two options. The trial balance import or export option is where you can generate the trial balance in Sage 50 accounts, export it, and then use this option to import the trial balance in. The full transaction import, however, allows you to link Sage Accounts production directly with Sage 50 accounts and bring in not only the trial balance, but the full transactional history which makes up that trial balance. So work your way through this wizard to import the data in directly from Sage 50 accounts. To enter the comparatives in for the previous year, you can go into the nominals. So the nominal ledger window will display all the nominal ledgers for the chart of accounts, along with the current year figures showing on there as well. Using the compare button, short for comparative, you can then go in to enter the comparatives for previous year. Just simply go into that field to manually enter the figures in there. If, however, this is the second year that you are doing the accounts for, you can do a roll forward from the previous year and that will automatically carry forward the figures for you, and the comparatives will be pre-populated already in there. The nominal groups option down the left hand side will show you all the different groups and how those groups have been made up and what those balances are. So this is what Sage Accounts Production will be using along with the database section to produce the year-end statutory accounts. Once you've got the trial balance in, you will then move on to the accounts database. And this contains all the information the system needs to produce the accounting reports and the pages. The database is organized into groups down the left-hand side here, and then into subgroups with tabs along the top for each group. You would simply navigate your way through each of the groups and have a look at the options which may be applicable for that client. Once you've entered all the information in the accounts database, you would then move into the accounts pages. Sage will provide you with all the default pages and notes in this pages section. They'll be maintained and kept up to date with any legislation changes as and when required. And you can view those pages using the tab options along the top here or via the all pages options. To make your life easier, we have also grouped together a number of those pages in the selection area here. So in the print selections option, you can see different sets of accounts that you may require, whether they are full member accounts, whether they are abridged accounts, or specific ones for microentity. You will then select the relevant selection to then go into the print option where you can either print off the set of accounts or preview it on screen. So if I preview on screen, the software will now go through the nominal ledgers and the groups, along with looking at the accounts database to see what options you've selected in there and what information you've entered. And combining all that information, it will pull through a set of accounts for you on screen. So the pages will be created in line with the latest updates with Companies House. So on this example, it starts off with the cover page. We can see the company registration number along with the company name and their year-end date. Using the navigation options on the top, we can then go through the different pages one by one. So you can review the pages on screen before you print them or before you save them as a PDF and send them over to your client for their approval. Within the print selection window, you also have the ability to generate the accounts in IXBRL. So the IXBRL accounts will then be stored for you on your computer which you can then use when you go into the corporation tax module to do the computation and do the CT return. You can attach the accounts in that IXBRL format and send them over to HMRC. You also have the e-filing option, which allows you to submit the accounts over to Companies House. Sage Accounts Production will check the data for you for any validation issues or errors that you may find within the software. So before it starts the submission, if there is any data missing, if there are any errors, if the software knows that the submission will fail, it will display that on the screen for you. If, however, everything has passed, you then go through the wizard, making sure that the dates are correct, and then selecting the relevant options for that company before moving on to the final page where you would enter your credentials in and submit that over to Companies House. If you're also using the Sage Taxation Suite, you're able to transfer the Sage Accounts Production data into the relevant tax module by going into Tools, Export, Tax Export, and then choosing one of those three options. Thank you for watching, and please do check out the other videos covering the Sage Taxation Suite.